Hey there guys, it's me Woos, and this is the video I was mentioning on Twitter I'm gonna post when I hit 30 subs. I'm currently recording it on the 17th of March. Yeah, 17th of March. So I don't know when I hit 30 subs, but I will post this on YouTube, private it, and then I'll premiere it on when I hit 30. Anyways, I've talked about this on Twitter a few times. Don't worry why I'm wearing a mask, my hoodie like this. I kind of lost my shades, which I used to cover my eyes, so I have to do this now. And to see that both hands, I'm I'm doing this free-handed. I have like a holding device here. Oh, now the camera's shaking. Now the camera's shaking. I have a holding device to hold my phone to film myself. So yeah, there's that. So I've talked about this on my Twitter for a bit. I replied to some few times to K9 that yeah, I occasionally wrote in my past a few things. Mostly were fan fictions. Most of them were, I don't know, they weren't that popular, so I think they were kind of bad. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna talk about this. What the basic premise of it is. And I should have drunk. I should have become drunk to make this easier for me, because I don't know. Nobody in my family even knows that I written this stuff. So yeah. So the basic premise is I think it was in 2016 when I had the idea for it. It was like, okay, what if One Piece, Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and the fourth anime that kind of changed my life, which is, and I'm sorry for this, High School DxD. Okay, it's High School DxD. It's an edgy anime. Although it's fan servicey, the plot isn't bad, and I was like, I could work this into it. I could work this into it. If I cut the edgy scenes, I could work this into it. The characters aren't bad in the show, so I was like, okay, so I have these four shows. How do I integrate it? And I was like, okay, it sets in our world on Earth in the year of 2030. A dark force has taken over the world and is ruling it for 100 years. This is the force of darkness, led by four emperors. Which one? Those ones are Marshall D. Teach Blackbeard, Madara Uchiha, Frieza, and Vali Lucifer. Alright, okay, this is a good start. I was thinking, okay. So those are like the reincarnations of the darkness, which exists together with the form of light since the very beginning of the universe. And they were like reincarnated over and over and over and over and over again, kind of like in the Legend of Zelda, where like Link, Ganon, and Zelda constantly get reincarnated. Yeah, I gotta let me sit back a bit. So I was like, okay, yeah, I can work with that. So I started writing up some stuff, and the story basically starts with this: like we are in some small village, and we follow the adventures of a girl. It's Nami from One Piece, basically. She's living in a village with her sister Nojiko, and they sorry, I don't think I will cut this video. So, and one day she eats a weird fruit, and the soldiers of the Dark Army instantly find out about this, that she has no devil fruit powers. But which, by the way, many think that if she had a devil fruit power, it should be the snow fruit from Monet in the One Piece canon. So I gave her the snow fruit, and so now she has the abilities of the snow fruit. She can turn it to snow and control it. And so she tries to run away from the soldiers, but she gets pushed into a corner, and they're about to kill her. Suddenly, this dude, my own OC, and I have to reveal this now, since the very beginning of me writing fan fictions, I was shipping myself with Nami. But can you judge me for it? I mean, come on, she's hot, okay? She is hot. Anyways, yeah, so my guy shows up with, and the thing is, he has like a mechanical arm and a mechanical leg, and I will go into detail for that later on. And he saves her from it, and then he's like, you know what? Why don't you join us? You have the ability. You have a sick ability. I can teach you how to fight. So he takes her to this base. It's a bit out of town, and introduces her to his team, which called the Rebels. Yeah, I didn't give it a very creative name. I mean, come on, the reincarnation of Light and Darkness are literally Light Warrior and Dark Devil. So in terms of naming conventions, I'm not the best one, to be honest. Yeah, so there's that. And yeah, he takes her to space and introduces her to all the 100 teammates, which are the leader of the group, Rias Gramarye, Monkey D. Luffy, Issei Hyodo, Asia Argento, and Krillin. So like, you have this group of 5 people, and my dude, which I can't call him, his name's Marcel. He starts training her in combat, so she has at least some way of defending her. And like, he gives her, he's the guy who gives her the climate attack. He found it somewhere during a mission, and he was like, this isn't a bad weapon. And she gave it to her because no one in the group currently doesn't know how to operate it. So she has now the power of the snow fruit and the climate attack, so she can manipulate weather as well. So they start going on missions. With the first one is against Gecko Moria from the fat vampire guy from the Thriller Bark arc, and his zombie army. They keep fighting against him. He pulls out the big guns and brings out the giant zombie ores, and they seem to be defeated. But then Sanji and Zoro show up and cut them down. And then after that arc, they join as well. During the beginning, I was like, not really writing that much. Like, arcs were 1 or 2 chapters long, sometimes even 3 at the first few. So yeah, those 2 join the gang, and the next plan is, okay, there's like some fortress near a canyon. I was literally calling Canyon Fortress. Listen, the early beginnings are a bit rocky. Once you get past the time skip, and yeah, there will be a time skip. There are many, because this is kind of also based on Dragon Ball Z. It will get better. So yeah, they go to this fortress near Canyon Fortress, which is, my inspiration was Enies Lobby. They're gonna fight against the CP9 here. Why? Because Boa Hancock, who is the fiance in this story to Monkey D. Luffy, is stuck there. And so we gotta save them. So we gotta go save her now. So they go there, they hatch a plan. Okay, we can do this, and Luffy is in this group, so fuck it, I'm gonna storm in there. And he storms in there, beats up a bunch of guards, and enters the tower. And like, it's basically just the Enies Lobby arc. He starts beating up Bruno, and everybody enters the tower, and we have like the fight. The fights are, because Chopper and Frankie, they aren't in there in this group. Have I ever written how they joined this? I didn't really write how they join later on. So the fights are like this: Nami against Khalifa, the woman with the soap fruit. Sanji versus Kaku. Not Sanji versus Kaku. Why the fuck am I talking about? Sanji versus Jabura. Zoro versus Kaku. Luffy against Rob Lucci. Krillin against. What's Krillin against? Yeah, Krillin against Fukuro, the fat guy, the guy with the zipper mouth. I watched the German dub. Sorry, I don't know really much of the English names. This guy is like literally called Owl in Germany, like owl, the bird. What was the long hair guy's name again? The long hair guy, the guy Chopper who fought against, he fights against Issei, and because my guy Marcel needs a guy to fight against, he was like, I'm just gonna add Dodoria. So the fights go on as usual, except the ones I'm gonna elaborate on, the ones that aren't in the One Piece canon. So basically, Marcel and Dodoria are brawling it out, and he knows like, okay, this is gonna be a bit harder. And he powers up, his mechanical limbs start to glow a bit. And it's like basically his version of Kaioken, the overdrive. He is able to do this because of his mechanical limbs. I'm gonna elaborate on them after I'm done with this, please remind me of that. And he goes into overdrive and he beats the shit even faster out of Dodoria. It's basically his Kaioken, he's stronger and faster, but his defense is a bit lowered by this. So he goes ham on it, and then he charges everything into his left fist, punches him in the gut, and releases an energy wave. And this is basically his signature attack, the Spirit Blast. And this attack will be a finish in many fights later on. And yeah, Dodoria gets knocked out of the tower. He's still alive, because he's gonna come back later, I think. Yeah, he's gonna come back later. Sorry, it's been a bit since I revisited the early parts of the story. So yeah, sorry for that. And so Dodoria is down, the other fights are happening, and yeah, basically Issei fights against the long-haired guy, and because he's getting constantly attacked by Rokushiki techniques and the long hair attacks from this guy, and he's like, okay, I can do this, but I need to unleash the power of my dragon. And he has like the power of, what's the boosted gear that gives him a power boost every 10 seconds, but he has also like the power to turn into this red massive suit of armor. And he pulls out a rumble ball he found somewhere. I don't know, I think there was something like that. And he eats it and he powers up and he is able to turn into the balance breaker form. The balance breaker form, that's what it's called. And he starts going ham on what the fuck was his name again? It's like the only one I don't remember. I'm gonna edit this later in, maybe, if I remember this guy's name. Fuck, what's his name? Anyways, he beats the shit out of him. This guy gets defeated as well. Krillin keeps fighting against Fukuro, and he defeats him with a Kamehameha. Those fights aren't really that spectacular, to be honest. And Luffy manages to defeat Rob Lucci and saves Hancock, so yeah. Then we go on to the next arc, which is like the state prison arc, where they enter a prison to recruit more members for their group. And they enter the Fate Down. It's Impel Down. It's basically just the Impel Down arc. They enter this base that's somewhere in the middle of nowhere. This prison that has like 20 levels that go downwards, kind of like, I don't know, a bunker. They go down there, they defeat a ton of people. But down on the lowest level is Admiral Kizaru from, the guy with the light powers. And he beats the shit out of all of them, accompanied by Buffalo Meokuma, and he it's basically what happens after during the time skip on Sabaody Archipelago, where they get sent to different places, and that's where they train for 2 years. And damn, I've been talking for 30 minutes already. I'm gonna stop the recording here, and I'll continue some other day. I think I will continue talking about the story if I hit a certain sub goal. So maybe at 40 or so, I will continue with the next arc. So this is basically just the half of the origin saga. This is, I called it the origin saga, where they basically get started before all the interesting action happens. So it's basically a One Piece time skip at the moment where they keep training for 2 years to get better, stronger, to fight against the Dark Army with a bigger force and something like that. Yeah. So anyway, that's it from me today, and I hope I can post this video soon and I don't have to wait another month. I'm currently at 21 subs at the day of this recording, so maybe I'll hit 30 soon so you guys can see this. Anyways, see ya.